Testing. Episode 2 of Full Transparency. We live, baby.
We live. We in this bit.
I'm Cherish.
And I'm Isis. And we created this podcast to empower, uplift, and connect with people just like us.
Having conversations about everything from self-love, conquering fears, and setting boundaries. We will tell our truths
with full transparency.
It's litty more lit than a tit.
So I'm just here setting up for the second episode of Full Transparency. It's going to be about confidence and motivation, so stay tuned. I think I'm about to just fill in my eyebrows a little bit and figure out what I'm going to do with my hair. I can't tell if I like this half up, half down look, but Isis is on time today. She's actually here. I'm about to run to the door and meet her. I haven't eaten breakfast, haven't went over my show notes, but it's fine. It's still gonna be a great episode. I'm gonna show y'all Isis coming in. Hold on. There she is. I'm being such a creep. Oh, let me go to the door. She's running. I forgot to unzoom it, but it was all on your face. I don't want to be all up on the mic.
Alright, so let's first start with this little mic check real quick.
Testing. 1, 2, 3. Testing. This is Full Transparency episode 2.
FTP on the beat.
Not for the peach. Full Transparency podcast. If you didn't know,
now you know.
Period.
I love when we're in sync. It just feels so nice.
It does.
Alright, so let's see what you're talking about.
Alright, give me like 3 minutes.
Go ahead.
To look over my notes. You smell so lovely. Wow. And then
you said I smell lovely?
Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
And then
I'll give you 3 minutes and I'll pour our baby shot.
But you know what's funny? That this is my 10.
And this is honestly, not even lying, this is my 6. I'm so serious.
This is my 10. This is how much energy I give.
This is my 6 and I get crunk.
I get turned up. Okay.
That's a shot. The one I did before was not a shot.
It was a glass of Casamigos.
Yeah, this is about like a full shot. Don't worry, I'm gonna spend my... This Casamigos got a strong aroma.
It sure
Strong. Full transparency. This is how we get ready. Oh, remember I got kick out my
And then you really about to get up and do it. That sounded like something popped.
Yeah, that shit.
Another episode, another shot.
To episode 2.
Episode 2.
Damn, I tried to hold that in. I love how we follow it with water.
Yeah.
Good morning. Well, it's afternoon now.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Oh, well, I guess when we post it, it'll be morning. 10 a.m.
It don't matter.
whatever. When we're filming it, it's afternoon now, you guys. So
Yeah.
welcome back to Full Transparency, episode 2.
It's episode 2. We're going to talk about confidence and motivation today.
Yep.
And we're going to give you the tea on how we feel about confidence.
That part.
We're a little lit. It feels great.
Just a smidgen, you know, we just like to warm ourselves up a little bit with the casa. We in the casa, so we gotta drink a little casa in the casa.
Not casa. And we're amigos. So casa amigos.
We're in the casa and we're amigos.
It fits. It's perfect.
Are we corny?
As fuck. But it's fine. The people love us.
The people love us. You know, if we weren't this way, we wouldn't be us. So I'm okay with it.
Me too.
Okay.
So we're just going to keep going like we usually do. We're going to ask each other questions. We'll both answer the questions. And then we'll just keep going with the conversation from there. So do you want to go first? Did you go first last time?
I don't know. I feel like I asked the first question, but I really don't remember.
Me either. So I'll just go first.
Go ahead.
So how would you define confidence?
My definition of confidence is like self-accepting, self-trusting, like just kind of being sure of yourself or being sure, because it doesn't even have to be you. It could be confidence about something. So just being sure of whatever it is. So basically trust.
That
When
makes
you define it
sense.
as, oh, you about to have lashes in your eye. Legit. Oh, okay. There we go.
I would define confidence by, I really didn't even think about the question after I wrote it. I would define confidence as just feeling like good about yourself, like how you look, how you feel, or what you're doing.
Yeah.
Like just feeling sure, feeling not necessarily not feeling anxiety for what you're about to do, but being confident that you're gonna, or being strong-minded and able to say that you're gonna put your all, or you feel good about it.
Yeah, like I'm confident in what I'm doing.
Yeah,
I'm confident that I know how to get there or something like that. Yeah,
I agree.
Yeah. I definitely think that's a good example, or a good definition, I mean, of what confidence is. It kind of plays along to what I said too.
Yeah. So I know you looked it up. So what does Webster say confidence means?
So the actual definition for confidence is the feeling or belief that one can rely on someone or something, firm trust. So we were
Okay.
both kind of in line with that. I feel like that is the best way to describe confidence, just when you truly believe in something. So
Yeah, feeling like you can rely on something. Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree with that.
I like the term rely, because it's like depend upon.
Mm-hmm.
Like I can depend on myself to get this done.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I like, confidence is kind of like a touchy, it's kind of hard for me to really define it, because it's really a feeling, and I
Yeah.
get really stuck on describing how I feel.
Yeah.
So confidence, like you said, like I feel like the Webster definition is like,
Pretty on point.
yeah, for
With
sure.
me, it's hard because sometimes I can go from being extremely confident to being really insecure. It's like a very weird, like, double-sided thing for me. Like, I'll wake up one day and be like, I'm a bad bitch. And then I'll get in the car and be like, am I a bad bitch? Like, it's honestly, like, I kind of go back and forth with it. And that, you know, that comes from the insecurity, which is the opposite. Or can you be confident but still have insecurities?
Definitely.
Yeah.
For sure. I think everybody has insecurities, like no matter what. Like you still might think you're the baddest bitch on the planet, but you're insecure about something.
Yeah.
I think the difference between people is whether they put their insecurities on display or not. Because your insecurities are very personal, and it's usually something that if you don't point out, other people won't even notice.
Yeah.
So a lot of the times we just beat ourselves up about things that other people don't even notice about us. So like social media is really like a slippery slope for me sometimes with my confidence, because like something about me, my hair needs to be done, or I don't feel good.
You don't feel put together.
I don't feel put together. Like, I feel like outfits just don't look right. Nope. Like, it just.
You ever been in like the dressing room and tried on an outfit, but your hair's not done? And you're like,
this is a mess.
Something is just not coming together. But once you do your hair,
it's it.
It's like, okay,
it's it.
This is it.
So like, I had to stop comparing myself to Instagram, and that really took a long time for me to do. But I had to just remember, like, Instagram is a highlight reel.
Oh, 100%.
And I'm comparing my behind the scenes to the highlight reel, and I shouldn't do that.
Say it one more time.
Instagram is a highlight reel. Don't compare your behind the scenes to the highlight reel. And I had to remember, my highlight reel slaps.
Yeah.
Like, it's popping.
that joint be hitting. That joint hitting. So,
like, once you get that ingrained, I got a little bit better relationship with social media. Like, I know when I need to log off, and I know when I can be like, I can acknowledge, oh, she looks good without feeling bad about myself.
But I also look good.
Exactly.
She looks good, and not even to be like, but I look better, because then you're putting someone else down. Yeah. But ultimately, it's just, remembering, like, she's bad, but I'm bad too. So because she, everyone's gonna be, I don't want to use the word attractive, because I feel like that's like, up for debate in people. But I feel like everyone has their own, like, inner bad bitch, and whatever makes them that bad. So for instance, like, whatever you feel about your personality and yourself is what makes you bad. Someone else might have different traits that they amplify that make them feel bad. So
also, like, you have to remember, just because someone else is pretty does not make you less pretty. And what I was touching on, like, last episode, when I was talking about I didn't really identify with anybody like that looked like me, so I didn't feel pretty. I had to get that through my head. Like, just because someone else is pretty and they don't look like me doesn't mean I'm not pretty.
Yeah, beauty can be very intimidating sometimes.
Very much so.
Sometimes when you see a girl that's really pretty, like, it's just like, oh my God, like, she's gorgeous, and that's all you can really focus on, because some people just, I would
even
say
us. You. I would say you. I like, you're smiling so hard. It's adorable. But, like, when I first met you, I'm like, wow, like, she's really pretty. Like, I probably stalked you on Instagram a few times. When we first became friends, and I was with Amir still at the time, and I showed him, and I was like, look at how pretty she is. It's like, she's really pretty, yeah.
Thank you. I appreciate it. And I think it's funny because, like, just like that, she saw me and you think I'm so pretty, and then there's me at home struggling with all these things that's like looking in the mirror like, oh my God, I look so weird, oh my God, this, that, and the third. But that just goes to show there's other people out there that really admire and can appreciate the beauty that you might sleep on in yourself. Because that's how I feel about you. I be telling her she look like Black Mulan all the time. Honestly, I feel like Cherry. Look at that smile. And she has the dimples too. I don't know. I just feel like, and again, that goes to show everybody carries their own type of beauty. So
I agree. Yeah.
I definitely feel like social media is a place where you can easily be comparing yourself, but as long as you keep in the back of your head that, like, you are just as bad as any of those girls on social media, you just have to believe in yourself. I think that's where the beauty starts to show. Yeah. When you start to feel it yourself and you start to expel that energy that I know I'm bad, I know I'm beautiful. Like, I feel like that's when it's the most apparent.
I think that's, like, the key to confidence. Like, I know, like, affirmations, like, telling yourself affirmations in the mirror might feel silly, but it works. Like,
no, it works.
Like, I watched this girl on YouTube, and she really just, on YouTube, she just looks at herself and she'd be like, I'm so hot. And I just started doing that, and I think it's funny, but, like, your brain doesn't know the difference between you laughing because you think something is funny and, like, you feeling good and you really feeling it. So, even you just looking in the mirror saying, I'm so hot, and laughing about it, your brain will really start to register, like, I'm hot.
Yeah,
like,
I'm hot as shit. Yeah. I'm not gonna lie, I do that. When I was first, like, I want to say maybe, like, 2 years ago, I was really, like, struggling just on, like, how I looked and how I perceived myself, and thinking about how other people perceive me as well. And I started doing that. Like, I started just looking in the mirror, like, no makeup, like, even when my hair is a mess. Because you got to learn to appreciate yourself even when you look a mess. Because your braids are always going to be done. Your twist out ain't always gonna be popping. I told Cherish today my twist out was trash. That's why I put my hair in a bun. But you still have to be able to look at yourself and be like, you know what, despite all this, I'm still really beautiful. Like, I'm still really hot. I'm really it. So I feel like you said, hyping yourself up is definitely a good way to start feeling more confident. That actually goes into my question. I was gonna say, what do you think it takes to be more confident?
Again, like I was saying, definitely affirmations, and you really just have to stop comparing yourself, because once you get rid of the idea like I'm hot compared to, or I look good compared to, like you see yourself for who you actually are. Yeah. Comparison is definitely the thief of joy. Like, once you, from how you look to just your personality, the way you talk,
how you present yourself,
everything, what you want to do, like all of that, you have to stop. You have to stand in your truth, stand in your purpose, and really hype yourself up. Be your own cheerleader. Surround yourself with people that uplift you and don't tear you down. Surround yourself with people that don't talk about other people, because like that negative energy, it makes you think like, oh, well, if you feel that way about them, like, how do you feel about me? You start relying on other people's opinions to validate yourself. Yeah. So you have to just make sure you're surrounding yourself with good energy, feeding yourself good energy, and just loving on yourself in different ways, whether it's like self-care, like just looking at yourself in the mirror naked and just saying affirmations to yourself, or just like rubbing yourself down, like massaging yourself, just different things like that.
Taking the time to appreciate your body and honestly all that it does for you. Again, our body is our vessel. Like this, it does house. So much for us. We wake up every day, we eat, we breathe, everything through this body. So you have to learn to appreciate, what you have and what you're given, and understand that there's always going to be someone that, like, there might be things that you don't like, but there's always people out there that are like, I wish I had what she had. I wish I had that. I wish I had this. So just learn to appreciate it. I mean, while you can. We only have one life.
We only have one
Why
life.
You want to spend it hating the body you were given, So, and that kind of goes into, I saw this quote online and it says, in order to build confidence, you need a strong foundation to be so sure of yourself and have a solid bedrock of self-trust to anchor yourself to. So I just felt like that was really good, because when they said to anchor yourself, so to keep you grounded to understand, like, you have to trust yourself enough. And we're saying a lot of self, and I think that's because we're trying to really drive in the point that the confidence has to come from you within.
It literally cannot come from anybody else.
It can't come from comments, likes, follows. It can't come from any of that, because one day all that's going to die off. And then what are you going to have? Yourself.
So you can like compliments and all of that, but if you don't believe it yourself, it's not going to fill you up. It's not going to fill you up at all. You have to know. Yeah. Like, and it's okay to have off days, and it's okay to not feel your best all the time, because it's not realistic to feel 100% all the time. But when you're not feeling your best or not looking your best in your eyes, you still have to know, like, I'm worthy. I'm good. Like, I'm beautiful. So
I'm uniquely me, and that's the things that sometimes you hate are what make you different from other people and what makes you unique. It makes you you. So, and there's people out there that will love you for tons of things that you may hate about yourself. But again, it still has to come from you. No matter if someone else loves you for the things you hate, you personally have to learn how to appreciate those things. Because again, that love could fade too. And then what do you have left with? You.
Yeah. So, if you consider yourself confident, what age did you become confident, or did it ever waver for you?
I feel like when I was young, like a young little girl, like I probably didn't care as much. I was just like, being myself. I feel like confidence didn't actually like set in and become like a thing where I can say I'm confident maybe until like 23, to be honest. Way late. Way late. But I feel like just all my life I had struggled with, like, I've always, like, from a few years ago, I've wanted to model. But at the time, I just felt like there was no place for me. And I knew I liked to take pictures. I knew sometimes I felt beautiful, but I didn't feel confident enough to put myself out there and to say, like, I'm confident, I can do this, I'm beautiful, I know that hands down. It took me a very long time until I realized that and thought of myself that way. So, what about you?
I would say probably 21 or like 20, almost turning 21. As a kid, I was very, very insecure.
Yeah, same.
I was always overweight. Like
me too. I was chunky.
I was a big kid, and like my dad calls me turkey baby. Like I was a big kid.
Aww.
So I was very insecure about that, and then my teeth weren't straight, so I didn't smile. Every time I smiled, I covered my mouth. Yeah, even with the dimples and everything, I would cover my mouth. I would try not to smile.
Aww.
I used to wear glasses. I mean, I still do sometimes, but I have contacts now. And I don't want to sound like I'm bragging, but I'm intelligent. So, like, I was always, like, in advanced classes, like, and so I just felt dorky.
Yeah, people see that a lot as a kid. They see that as, like, you're dorky or weird or something like that.
So,
I don't get that.
As a kid, I wasn't confident at all. It probably wasn't until... So in 6th grade, the summer of 6th grade, I decided I didn't want to be fat anymore. So like every day, the summer of 6th grade, I was down in my basement, like working out.
Cherish your body.
I started working out in 6th grade, like just doing like home workout videos. Like I really liked kickboxing, so that's what I did most of the time. And then so I came back to like 7th grade, and I was like thinner, and so like I was getting so much attention. And then like as I got to high school, I've always been like an hourglass shape. She thick, y'all. She thick. And she's thicker than cold grits. But, but like when I got to high school, I got like more shapely. Like my hips expanded more. And I just got a lot of attention because of how my body looked. And like I had to get to a point where like other people's validation, my body is not me. Yeah. So I had to get to a point where I understood that how my body looks should not define how confident I am in myself. Yeah. Like during the period I am in now, I feel like I've increased my confidence even more because it's not necessarily just about my body anymore. Like I'm confident in what I can do. I'm confident in how I look. My face has changed so much throughout the years to the point where my family members don't recognize me. Oh my goodness. Like I told you, my aunt's funeral was a couple of days ago. They didn't know who I was. Like I've changed so much since I was a kid.
Wow, they're like, who's this baddie?
And so I had to disassociate my confidence with my body and like how people reacted towards how I looked and make it more internal. Yeah. And I think the pandemic definitely helped that because I was inside. I was in the house, and even though I was like posting pictures, like I wasn't seeing anybody. Like I was still just with myself.
Honestly, the pandemic really made people and even me just reflect a lot on like just yourself. What are you doing in life? That's what the pandemic made me realize. It was like, yo, girl, what are you doing? Where are you going? I just turned 25 a few weeks ago. Yeah, a few weeks ago. So I'm just like at the point where I'm like, what am I really like? Where am I really taking myself now? And I feel like the pandemic helped a lot with that because, like you said, we weren't out. We weren't doing anything. You're in the house every day.
We weren't. We're still in a pandemic.
Yeah, we're still in the pandemic. Yeah. So be safe.
Please mask up.
Mask up. Yeah. Mask all the way up.
But yeah.
So yours is like 2021.
Yeah, like. Man, I mean, that's still even hard to say because, like I said, it was associated with my body at that point. So, like real inner confidence, I would say this past year.
Yeah.
And
we're still probably going through that phase of growth. I mean, and that's another thing about this podcast. We're talking about stuff probably as we're still in it and learning through it. So we just don't want you guys to feel like you're by yourself. I mean, we feel the same way.
We feel the same way. And I think that's the only reason why the confidence that I've developed has allowed me to even start the podcast or allowed me to even do my fitness page because for so long I was worried about what other people would think about it, or the support that I wouldn't get, or just not being confident in what I can do or how people would receive me.
Just focusing too much on the
other people. On outside. And it's just like, if I give it my all and I'm confident in what I'm doing, then none of that matters.
And now you're doing it, you're posting, you feel good about it, no matter what anybody has to say. She's still doing her thing, getting up at 5 a.m. I be seeing you, girl. She be up right at 5 a.m. on them weights, doing whatever she can to do what she needs to do to make herself happy.
Yeah, shout out to pre-workout, because I'd be a zombie without it.
Yeah, seriously.
But we're doing it. We're doing it because you're doing your thing.
I mean, yeah, you know, I do.
Kind of more. So.
My kind of more. You guys don't know yet, but soon to come. Details soon to come. I'm going to just throw that little bait out there real quick. Just kind of more on the way. Just
stay tuned.
Prepare for that. But even outside of that, like with modeling, that was a big thing for me. Because modeling, you have to be secure. Because there's going to be people that don't like the way you look, don't like certain things about you. I actually had an interview, what was that? I think that was last year, now that I think about it. Last year with Natural Models LA. It's a really good modeling agency in LA. And they have one in New York as well. But they pretty much told me that they don't have any market for me because I'm too short. So then that was like a thing. I'm only 5'3.25", so like 5'4". And you know, models are normally like 5'8", 5'10". I'm not that. I'm short and I'm thick. I literally look like a nugget.
She does not look like a nugget. And if she does, she's the cutest nugget you've ever seen.
My papa used to call me Munchkin. Aww. Literally Munchkin, because I've always been short and I've been a little thicky since day one, baby. So that was another thing I had to, like, you know, just get used to and get comfortable with. My height is not going to change. There's absolutely nothing that I can do about my height. I'm taller than my mom. I'm taller than my grandmother. Like, we're little women. Like, so that's something that I just ultimately ended up having to be okay with, because it's like, I can't change this. Like, and that's another thing with confidence. I feel like realizing the things that you can and cannot change and accepting those things. That's like a quote, right? Accepting the things you cannot.
It's a prayer.
Oh, yes, it's a prayer. I'm so sorry.
I don't remember what the title of the prayer. I think it's the wisdom prayer.
Yeah,
or the
it's
courage
like,
prayer.
Give me the strength to accept the things I cannot change and change the things that I can. It goes like that. Something like that.
I'm going to just research
what's
it real quick.
As you do that, when I was doing my research for this topic today, I learned that confidence is actually comprised of 4 elements. So it's exposure, failure, reflection, and compassion. So I'm just going to briefly go over what those mean, just so that way you guys get a better understanding. Consistent exposure to what scares you. So after a while, if you keep exposing yourself to those things that you're afraid of,
it won't be scary anymore.
Yeah, it won't be scary anymore. You're going to build up, what is it? So it says, if you adjust yourself to being scared, the things you're scared of won't prevent you from moving forward. And I was just like, wow, like, it's so like simple, but like sometimes when you read stuff, it just clicks. It's just like, yeah, you're right. So then the next one is failure. Struggle is good for you. You know, some people have like a really hard struggle and they really might be going through a lot of stuff in life, but pressure don't make nothing but diamonds, baby. So you got this. Keep going. The other one is reflection. Consider your nature. Consider your nature and your values. It's to show who you are. So with confidence, you have to, like I was saying earlier, you have to understand, like, what do you stand for? Like, who are you? Who do you want to be? And what are you trying to tackle? And like, what do you stand for, pretty much? And then the last one is compassion. Self-compassion is finding your way past guilt and shame and making an attempt to forgive yourself. Understanding that you're human and honoring your own suffering. So it's okay when you're down sometimes, and you can definitely acknowledge that. Just don't live in it.
Yeah. Don't
stay down. You can be down for a day. Drink some coffee, lay on the couch, chill out, but get back up tomorrow. Get back up tomorrow. As long as you get up, that's all that matters.
All that matters. So the prayer we were talking about is the Serenity Prayer.
That one.
And it's, God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference.
I honestly, I'm not like a religious person. I would definitely consider myself more spiritual, but that prayer, I feel like it's a very good prayer because it's very clear, and it's like, it's so true. It's so true. There are things about yourself you cannot absolutely change.
You can't
Again,
change.
what am I gonna put boosters in my shoes so I could be...
Get your knees done, girl.
Exactly. Let me get a knee extension, please, for $500. Knee extension me, please.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's just certain things about yourself you can't change, and you just have to accept. So
yeah.
What motivates you to do something, and is being confident enough to get you to take on a new journey?
So no, being confident is not enough for me to take on a new journey. Me personally, I just feel like I have to feel like I have enough room on my plate to take on something else. Like, I do X, Y, and Z things. I do so much already. So just being confident that I could execute something is not enough for me to take on something else. But what motivates me is like just thinking about the future, thinking about what could be if I do execute, and like if I actually take the steps to get something done. That's really the only thing that pushes me forward. I have to think about the outcome. And because normally I don't think about how I'm gonna feel doing something until I start doing it. Like starting the podcast, I didn't know how good I was gonna feel doing it until we started. I just thought about like what I wanted to deliver. I didn't think about how personally I was gonna feel about it.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, so no, confidence isn't enough for me, and just looking to the future motivates me.
Yeah, I feel like for me, like a motivation is kind of about looking into the future. It's like, if I don't start now, in a year from now, I'm gonna wish I started. And I could be a year progressed in whatever it is that I did versus just starting. And I feel like that's very important, because sometimes it's easy to be like, I'll do it later, or I'll do it at some point in time, whenever the opportunity presents itself. But it's like, why is the opportunity not now if you're the one making the opportunity for yourself? It's kind of like folding laundry. Like when you take it out of the dryer and you're like, oh, I'll do that later. Never gets done.
Yeah.
But if you just do it, once it comes out, it'll get done. Mind you, I don't do that. I do not do that. But it's a great thing. Like, and I would love to do my laundry straight out the dryer. But back to this, again, like you said, thinking into the future is kind of what motivates me sometimes, because I'm like, I don't want to be in this situation, whatever situation it is, anymore. If I start now, that gives me time. In 6 months, I could spare 6 months of grinding, and I could learn so much. I could be so much further, and it only takes an instant for something to be something even more.
Exactly.
The thought of the podcast turned into an actual podcast off of one conversation. That's a story time for y'all.
Yeah, we got to get into that.
Yeah, that's a story time. Not this episode, maybe the next episode, but that is a true story time and a testament to putting your mind to something and accomplishing it. And again, we say this all the time, but I'm super proud of us for just taking this on and continuing this. So, but also, I don't think confidence is enough to take on a new journey. I feel like you really need to plan it out and have a clear and concise plan of what you need to do to get to where you need to be. Because when you just do stuff like blindly, aimlessly, and just sometimes doing things impulsively, it's fun, but sometimes it's not the best, because you just go with your immediate like feelings and decisions about it, instead of actually sitting down and being like, that's good, but if I actually plan this out, I can take this route and it might end up 10 times better.
Yeah, that makes me think of the quote of like, direction is more important than speed. Because when you do things impulsively, a lot of the times you're going nowhere fast. Like, how fast you do something doesn't matter, but like the plan is very important. It's like the foundation. But on the other hand, I think about how, like, I'm a perfectionist, so even if I plan stuff out, if I don't think it's perfect, if I don't think it's the perfect time, or if I feel like I don't have the details worked out, then I won't do it. But it's like, it's never going to be the perfect time. Nothing's ever going to be perfect. Like, you just have to do it. You have to dive in.
I struggle with that too. I have so many planners. I'm a planner.
I know.
I'm a planner and a 50% executor, which I hate to say, but I mean, that's reality. I will take the cleanest notes. I will plan it from day 1 to day 365 of what I'm gonna do. But executing, it all looks good on paper, but it don't mean shit if you don't do nothing about it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I definitely feel like I also struggle with wanting things to be perfect. Every scenario, you want it to be like just on the money. But not everything's like that, and you have to just start somewhere, because you know, you'll get to maybe never perfect, but get to a really good space where, you know what, it's like, I did that
and I figured it out.
It wasn't perfect when we started. It wasn't perfect when I started doing that thing. It wasn't perfect when I thought about it, but I put my mind to it enough and I got it done, and I got all the resources or did whatever I need to do to make it as good as it could be.
Exactly.
So
my next question is, do you think your confidence ever comes off as cockiness?
All the time. And sometimes, like, I feel after I talk to someone, I like, in my head, I'm like, oh, they're probably thinking like, you're so full of yourself. You are so like just all about you. And although I am very about me, I'm very much about other people as well. And I feel like sometimes if you don't know me well enough, that message that I'm also all about the person I'm talking to, like I'm here to motivate you too and build you up, I feel like can sometimes get lost, because in the first episode you had mentioned it too. Sometimes I have a habit of bringing things back to myself. And you know, people see it as like, oh my god, like I'm talking about me, and like you're making it about you. And I get it. I completely get that, because it's like, I'm not even trying to be that way. But when I talk about myself, I try to talk about myself confidently. It's just a part of like, you know, speaking highly of yourself and, you know, getting your mind to really believe those things about yourself so you can live a more positive life. So I definitely think some people see my confidence as cockiness, and it's funny because just like you said, you thought it was so pretty. Sometimes I'm like, oh my god, Isis, you look so weird. So people think like, you know, oh my god, she's so cocky. But really, until you know me, you know that like, you know, I'm still working on it myself too. Like me talking about it is me actively hyping myself up. Yeah. Not trying to be like a cocky, like annoying person. See,
I never got cocky from you.
Really?
I always got like sweetheart. Like you seem very down to earth.
I love that, because I feel like you know, like you get me, like you get my vibe. And knowing me on a personal level, I feel like if you see me, even though I feel like my Instagram is pretty genuine too and like regular, like people judge me. People have told me that they think I'm cocky or self-absorbed, or like all I care about is me, and it's like, that's not it at all.
Wow. I've never gotten that from you. I feel like I don't know, you've always seemed so just warm to me. Like so warm and friendly, and your smile is huge. Like you're just always just...
And I'm always like...
Yeah, just so energetic, and I didn't get...
Well, that's good. I'm glad, because I don't mean to ever come off cocky, like, and I don't want people to think that I think I'm that bitch, but not that like you're not that bitch too. Like I think we can all be those bitches. Like we can all be like that girl. So it's just, I think I just, you know, openly hype myself up, and maybe people don't do it as much as me, or maybe people just, you know, like I said earlier, don't really know me. But I don't think I'm cocky. I think a lot of people don't realize that we're all just putting up a front for everyone else. Like everybody has their insecurities, but just because I post stuff on social media, like, trust me, I was in a room the other day crying because I thought it was ugly. Yo, that's me when I, like, if I'm, like, on my period, I'll look in the mirror and I'm like, you beast. What are you? Yeah, and then I
I get off my period and I'm like, oh, or I'm like emotional right before my menstrual, and then
I mean, I'm emotional like even without it, man. It could be ended 2 weeks ago, and here I am still crying about the same thing. I don't know. I feel like we're just in touch with our emotions.
Yeah,
that's how I like to see it. I'm just very in touch with my emotional side, and I understand, you know, sometimes things in my head are more tragic. Like, as far as like when I look at myself, I'm like, oh my God, you're hideous. It's not that deep. It's not that deep. Sis, you look just how you look yesterday.
Exactly.
Like, your brows, you just didn't do your brows, and you still look fine. Come on.
But so, I probably have been called cocky a couple times.
I don't get cocky.
I don't get cocky from me either, but it's all up for interpretation. But I think I've gotten it a few times. I definitely get self-absorbed, but I don't think I am. On the last episode, I said I was selfish, and I'm selfish, but I'm not self-absorbed.
Yeah, I think those are very different. Yeah.
So, like, I'm selfish in the instance where I'm gonna put my happiness above everything else. Yeah. Because all I have is myself at the end of the day. All I have is me. So I can't take care of everyone else without taking care of me. So I'm my first priority. I don't have children. I'm not married. Like, it's me. I have to take care of myself. I'm 23 years old. I have to take care of myself. So, and then self-absorbed, I'm a caring person, and I care about other people's feelings. So I don't think I'm self-absorbed. Like, I'm not just ignorant and rude,
and just like someone tells you something and you're just like, oh, okay. Like, you're not like that at all.
So no, I don't think I'm self-absorbed, but I definitely have gotten cocky a few times. I think I don't even know why.
I think we're misunderstood. I think we're really misunderstood.
I would agree.
I think it's one of those things, like I said, beauty is intimidation to some people, and I feel like both of us being very beautiful can be intimidating. And I feel like our confidence that, you know, we try to, you know, uphold within ourselves also could come off as like, you know, people might be like, oh, she thinks she's all that. And I mean, sis, you're right, but like not in a way where it's hurting you, or like, why can't I think of myself as all that without being cocky?
Yeah. I think I get all the time that people think that people are intimidated by me because I just seem so put together. And I'm like, little do you know, I'm a mess, but I'm just a calm mess that doesn't spread my shit everywhere. My shit is nice and compact, and I keep it in my purse. I don't let everyone see
You have one of them little mini bags full of all your mess.
All my mess. I keep it tidy. Yeah. It's a tidy mess. But I think I just keep it together. So I definitely do get intimidated, cocky a little bit. But yeah,
I just think once people like know you and understand you and get who you are, they would understand your actual genuineness. I feel like you're a very genuine person.
Thank you. I
feel like every time, even off camera, every time we have conversations, you also feel very down to earth. And again, it's one of those things you can't help. Yeah, your face may be intimidating. I'm not gonna lie. When I first saw you, it was a little intimidating to me. I was like, oh, I don't know if she's gonna like me. Like, I'm not sure.
It's because I'm not a big, I don't sit and just smile. Yeah. Or like, you know, I know the little smile where you don't show your teeth. I don't do that. That's not a comfortable resting face for me.
You honestly,
I'm serious.
Yeah, very, very serious face, but underneath it is a very pure and big heart. And I feel like
you're so sweet.
I gotta give it a little sweet in there, a little every so often. But I do think that I feel like you do have a very big heart, and I feel like you are very misunderstood, as I feel like I can be very misunderstood sometimes. People even take my like goofiness and like as like she's like dumb. Like, people in school thought I was like an idiot, but I mean, I'm dumb as in like, yo, I'll crack jokes all day, like, oh my gosh, she's so dumb, like she said that. But otherwise I'm very intelligent, and I feel like that gets, you know, lost in there somewhere. Like, people don't see that. I don't know what it is. Y'all crazy.
That's unfortunate, because she's really smart and very techie, and it's great.
I think the biggest thing about me that everyone probably knows is just that I'm creative. I feel like that's like my forefront of my personality. And I feel like people like, that's the only thing that people that don't know me really get about me. Other than that, they'll be like, she's creative, but she's a bitch. Like, oh, I like your nose ring a lot. I'm like sitting here staring at it. I was like, wow, that one's really cute. I need a little gem for this one. But yeah, I feel like people just like, they'll be like, oh yeah, she's creative, but like, she's cocky. Like, all she does is care about herself. She takes pictures all day. Y'all don't know.
Yeah, not cocky at all. Very down to earth. Very caring.
Yes, very. Oh, I think it's my turn. So, what areas are you the most confident in, and what areas do you feel the least confident in?
I am the most confident in like school, and like at school and working out and like getting dressed. Cause like I know I can throw that shit on for sure. I'm the least confident in making friends or like getting to know people, speaking in front of others, or trying new things. So I have a really bad habit of just not trying new things because I'm scared of being bad at things. And I think it just stems from me being a kid. Like, being a kid, really the most important thing is like getting good grades. And that was so easy for me. So like I used to quit things that didn't come easy for me because of that main thing.
Yo, were we living the same life?
Yes.
We were walking side by side in the same life and didn't even know it. Because that same. I could definitely relate to that.
So like school, I'm very confident in. Like I said, the gym, like now I've really gotten my groove. Like I said, I've been working out since I was in like 6th grade, on and off.
Yo, you a freaking fitness coach.
So I really do want to start like training and stuff.
You should.
So I'm confident in that. I'm confident in knowing what to do to get where I want to be. And then like I said, I can put an outfit together. Like I'm never gonna step out looking a mess. Yeah. Like even if I don't feel like I have clothes, I can throw something on.
You gonna find something from 6 summers ago and some new jeans and these new sneakers and catch this fit.
It's really crazy because one thing about me is I shop all the time, and there's this saying that if you don't wear something that you bought in like the first 30 days, you're probably never gonna wear it. And that's not true for me at all. No. The shirt I wore for my past birthday, I've had for 2 years and never worn it.
And then it just pops out. It found a moment. It found a moment to shine.
So, but yeah, so that's what I'm like most and least confident in. Speaking in front of people and like making friends. I, like you said, I feel misunderstood. So and I know I have a resting bitch face, so I always feel like people aren't going to like me. Yeah. And I'm very awkward when it comes to conversation because oftentimes I don't know what to say to keep a conversation going, and I don't know how to start conversations. Yeah. So I won't. I would just sit there and look, and then I look mean and I look standoffish because I'm not engaging when it's really like my mind is blank right now.
Yeah, like I don't even know what to give to this conversation.
I literally have nothing to give, so I don't say anything. So yeah, I'm very awkward when it comes to speaking. I'm a little shy. Yeah, that's a fun fact. I'm shy, even though everybody I've ever met will say I'm not. But I am. Like deep down inside, I'm an extroverted introvert.
And that's funny because I feel the same. I feel like I'm shy. Oh. Everyone laughs when I say that, but I feel like I'm shy because just how you are, like when it comes to making friends, like you get a little like weary about it because you don't know how people are gonna take you. That's exactly how I feel. Even though you're very calm and laid back, I can be calm and laid back, but naturally I'm more of I don't want to call myself hype because like that has like a bad, cut, like damn, she's so hype.
You're energetic.
Yeah, like I'm more of an energetic, more of like a giddy kind of bubbly personality type of thing, and not everyone likes that. not everyone can relate or get along with someone with a bubbly and big personality, because that's also it. Not only is my personality bubbly, but it's huge.
Yes.
It literally can fill up a room. And I think with that's where the misunderstood comes from, because people then think, you know, she wants it all to be about herself or whatever, and it's not that. It's just,
you're just being yourself.
I'm just
and
being,
you just have a big personality.
I literally, that's it. And I struggled with that for a long time. And I used to actually dim myself so that way
other people would feel comfortable.
And I could come off more like super laid back. And it used to hurt. Oh my God. It used to hurt on the inside, because like I would literally be suppressing my personality to fit for other people. Yeah, and then I realized, I was like, dog, you can't do this. Like, you can't do this to yourself. This is not you. And it's coming off as unnatural, because like you're literally holding it in. Natural. Yeah, it's not natural. And then when I would talk, I would get like, my voice would get shaky because I would want to say stuff but not say too much. So I would like hold back, and I'm like, So like, it was just, it's crazy. But for me, my sock coming off. For me, I'm most confident in is my creativity, for sure. It's definitely a driving force for me. Like, it is at the forefront of my personality. Like, even when people see me, like, off the bat, they're like, oh, you're probably so creative. I'm like, how?
The way you dress just screams like a creative, like an artist.
Yeah, so, and I shout out to my mom. I get that from my mom. She's a painter. She's a nurse, but she's also a painter. She's been very artistic my whole life. School projects, what? We used to go ham. We used to go ham on school projects. So I just feel like that's where I'm very confident and very comfortable anywhere in a creative space, because I feel like other creative people can understand me, because I feel like there's a lot of creative people who can also be shy but also have big personalities and big ideas and things like that. So that's where I'm most confident. And like I said, making friends and just sometimes articulating myself correctly so I get the right message across makes me insecure, because I know sometimes, like, again, it's like I speak my own language sometimes. Yeah. Genuinely, a lot of people have told me this. My Ashley says it all the time. She's like, someone has to really know you sometimes to understand what you're really trying to say. And it sucks, because I feel like that's where the miscommunication, misunderstanding comes from. But it's like, once you get to know me, you know, I'm lit, man. I'm fun. You're fun. I'm fun. Full and I don't
energy. So warm.
Yeah, so that's where my most and least confident comes in. So
I'm out of questions. Did you have any more questions for me?
Not really. I mean, okay, so we can end on this note. How do you self-motivate? How do you make the decision to be like, and I know you said it's discipline, not motivation, so I guess it could fall in line there somewhere, but what do you do to make sure that, I guess, you stay on track?
You said it. It's not, I don't self-motivate. I'm just disciplined. Mm-hmm. I guess a form of self-motivation would just be thinking about or envisioning how I would feel if I execute what I want to do, like after it's done. So that motivates me, because to think about how good I'm gonna feel after. But the process of getting through it is all discipline. Yeah. Like, what gets me up in the morning to go to the gym is discipline. What gets me to work on time, even though I don't want to be there for 8 hours, is discipline. And getting my homework done and turning it on time is all discipline. Like, I really struggle with staying motivated, and because I have so many like highs and lows with my feelings and my emotions, motivation will never stick for me. Yeah. Because once I'm down and I'm low, I don't want to do anything. I'm not motivated to even get out of bed, but I know I have to be disciplined enough to get out of bed and do everything that I need to do. Because I'm low right now, I know I'm not going to be down forever. So I still have to do the things that I want to do to keep my progress going. And so I'm not all the way back at square one.
Yeah. I think something that I need to keep me motivated is routine. I need to have a a clear routine and a clear mind of what I need to get done. So I guess that's discipline too, because you gotta have discipline to stick to the routine. So I think it all kind of ties together. But something that just helps me keep going is routine. So like even with the podcast, we've created a schedule, a routine for what we're gonna do, and it creates momentum. And with creating that momentum, even just small actions, you know, eventually it'll give you motivation. So the best way for me to stay motivated is just by sticking to a routine. Like you said, you know, you do need discipline to stick to that routine. So I feel like it all just kind of ties together. But that's what I do. I just have to have a clear routine of what I'm going to do and follow through. And like you said, thinking about how you're going to feel afterwards. Even with the podcast, how are we going to feel after recording episode 2 of Full Transparency?
But yeah, I agree. Routines are definitely necessary. Like I just now have to get back into meal prepping because nutrition is the hardest part for me right now. So having the routine that I'm gonna cook and make my meals to stay on track, like that definitely helps. So routine is definitely like a good way to add to discipline. And like I said, it's a lot more power to the people who have the motivation, because I'm not one of them.
And I mean, with that being said, I feel like that wraps up our episode today.
Yeah, that was a good one. I hope you guys enjoyed.
Yeah, me too.
So we'll see you next week on Full Transparency.
Episode 3.
Bye.
Bye. So the ending was a little crazy.
A little crazy. Ooh, it's okay.
I feel like we can tie it together, and I feel like, you know, even though I kind of fucked up, the camera kind of fucked up, this is full transparency, man. Yeah. Not everything works out the way you planned it to be.
Yeah, not everything's gonna be perfect. I've definitely listened to podcasts that were a little.
Yeah. Okay. That was a little shaky, you know. But guess what? It's episode 2, and this is full transparency, and this is what we're about.
Your camera never got back up in the episode.
Ha 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 ha. What was that? I sound like a bird.
Caw, caw, caw.
Caw, caw.
Alright, I think we're done.
Yeah, we're done. Thanks for listening to this episode of Full Transparency. We would love to hear your feedback, so please leave us a review.
If you want to get a notification every time we post an episode, subscribe on Apple Music and Spotify. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram at fulltransparency.podcast for more updates.
See you next time. Bye.